and welcome back to another video. So welcome to 2026. I had a different video planned for today, but I don't feel like, I don't know, I'm not feeling that video. So we're gonna actually keep today quite casual and do a bunch of sketching in real time, and you guys can just draw along with me, I guess, as I kind of ramble. Also, I decided that I'm going to do more of like a screen recording today rather than showing my tablet. I just don't feel like recording my hand, so I do apologize that the tracking might be a little bit off because I'm... Oh, wait. 1 second. I'm an idiot. I don't have to film in the dark. Okay. I'm an idiot. I usually have to film like in the dark to reduce the amount of glare on my screen whenever I have to record on my tablet or on my iPad, and the light that I usually have is like in front of me, which is not like optimal for like tracking for my VTuber model, which we're gonna be using today since I don't think I want to have my hand for the screen, so I wanted something at least to be somewhat interactive, so we're gonna use my VTuber model today. But let's get to drawing. So I'm kind of like all over the place right now. We're gonna play around with some brushes that I ended up downloading, and I changed my filming setup so that you guys can actually see my entirety of my screens. Sometimes when I just share the Clip Studio Paint window, it doesn't show like any of the pop-ups, so because of that it might be harder for you guys to see. I'm going to make a... Let's see, I'm just gonna pop this pen here. We're gonna make a new little section, and we're just gonna drop in all of our new brushes that I ended up downloading. Also, another reminder, collect your Clippy points. I'm gonna be reminding you guys a lot. Click here. I'm just gonna basically import many brushes that I ended up downloading from the asset store. And the reason why I wanted to remind you guys about your Clippy points is because there are some paid brushes on there that you can use your Clippy points to get. All the ones I'm going to be using today are free ones, and they are for the, I guess, like 1.0 version of Clip Studio Paint since I haven't upgraded. So they should work on any version, I believe. Ooh, this is so many brushes in here. But there's some cool, like, traditional art feeling ones in this particular folder. So there's like drawing pencils, there's watercolor, there's oil pastels, all that stuff. These ones have more of like a pen feeling. I feel like the Mameo pen is back. I don't remember if this is one of the pens that I ended up not being able to find later on. So we're just gonna have fun playing around with some brushes. These ones are textures. I think these ones are textures as well. Okay, I think that's all the new brushes that I downloaded. We're just gonna play around. I might revert back to drawing with like my usual tools on here, but the idea for today is just to kind of play around, do kind of like a sketch page. So I might do mostly sketching, I might do coloring, we might do line art, we'll just see. But my main focus right now, I want to draw a new Valette. So he got announced to have a new outfit, and I actually really like it, so I want to draw him. He's one of the characters I just really enjoy in general, but I love formal attire or like gentlemanly outfits, suits, kind of just anything formal I just really like. So let's look for something to draw with. These ones are actually quite nice, so we're gonna experiment like as we go. I don't really have like any plan or brushes that like I'm super compelled to use right now, but I do have a reference on Pinterest that I found that I feel like suits new Valette, so I will be putting that on the screen hopefully if I remember, because I will probably change it to fit whatever I feel like. But it's like a good way to get you started if you're not warmed up, or even like you don't have no idea what you want to exactly start off with. I'm gonna do drawing 9. So the good thing about, hopefully I'm not covering my brushes too much with the screen recording versus using the camera for my actual like drawing hand, you know what I mean? Real life drawing, I guess. You'll kind of see like my tools and stuff at least a little bit more clearly. Obviously I'm gonna be blocking a good portion, but I'll let you guys know like if I'm using stabilization or anything, and I'll let you know what percentage. I'm using, so that if you want to follow along or if you like how something looks, feel free to try it out. So the video that I initially had planned for today, I had 2 of them technically. So I recorded the process for both the I'm Not Cute Anymore by Eyelet, where I did like Kaisen being picked up by Masaki. And then the other one that I did was the one that was Happy New Year's with Selwyn. And I wanted to show you guys the process of like the live 2D animation and how I broke down the parts. But I feel like they didn't turn out exactly the way that I wanted them to be. So I ended up just scrapping the footage, unfortunately. Well, I have the Selwyn one still. So if you guys want me to maybe post it as a bonus video, I could definitely do that. But you guys can let me know. How was the last day of 2025? And any goals or things you're looking forward to in 2026? Now, okay, I'm gonna try to make his arm go down a bit more. We're losing space. Because I've mentioned there's a few things I want to work on, and hence why I ended up wanting to try to animate both Selwyn and Kaisen into like little animations, is that I definitely want to make more OC content, but I want to add more animation or movement to them by using live 2D, because there is a little project that I've been talking about for a while, almost like OC introduction, where they all kind of like fly in. So let's say this is like the screen. They'll start like right here, kind of come in, strike a pose, you know, strike a pose, and then they'll exit out and then maybe have their name. So let's say this is Masaki. Or I was gonna do like a small introduction where the character would kind of be like front and center, not in like a chibi form, and then have like their pose or whatever they're doing with their name, and then maybe like a chibi pops up. I don't know. There's something I want to do with all my OCs that have to do with like live 2D animation. That, or I'll try to learn more about frame by frame again. But like I said, we'll sketch, see how we like it, and then maybe I'll opt to do line work, or maybe I will just color my sketch and paint it. But one thing I like about working in Clip Studio Paint is browsing the asset store a lot. So other than like OC content, and like, I guess that kind of coincides with doing the Patreon sticker club as well, which hopefully I would have introduced at the beginning of this video. If not, I'm gonna talk about it now. So if you guys are wanting to come support me in a way, but also receive some cute stationery or stickers, I do have a Sprout Mail sticker club, and it's solely based on my OCs. And I'm gonna kind of experiment a little bit, but it's back in full swing now, since I'm not scared of the tariff situation between like US and other countries, as well as the Canada Post situation is no longer being, I think they're no longer on strike. Also, I'll make sure to put in the brushes that I'm using into the description if you're interested, because I think this pack is kind of nice. I want to try out their watercolor brushes, but I also might try inking, and we can do like clean coloring, cell shading maybe. But let me know your big plans of 2026. Even if you don't really have any, is there anything that you're like hoping for, wishing for? Because I know one thing that I'm kind of hoping for is that I think Day 6 is doing their, is it their decade tour? I forget what it's called. I think they're starting in, obviously, South Korea. But I'm hoping that they'll branch out and do like a world tour, because I'm really manifesting that they will come to Canada. At least, so that me and my friends can go see Day 6. Because the last time a concert happened, they omitted Canada completely, even though they always call it like the North American tour. They just should call it the US tour. That they're not going to plan to come to Canada. Because I think they only had like US stops, so it's not even like the entirety of North America at that point. I'm looking at you, 17, please. A pretty Hydro Dragon. To be honest, I'm tempted to buy this skin, but I told myself I wouldn't really put any money into like gacha games and pay for cosmetics, especially. Cosmetics I'm more compelled to pay for versus like a chance to get something, aka like the actual gacha system. But I don't know. I don't play Genshin enough anymore, like not at least not consistently anymore, where I feel like I would justify buying the outfit. But he is one of my favorites, and he's like my top DPS right now, since I've been lazy with builds, and his was easier, I guess. I guess like art goal wise, I do want to do studies this year, if anything. I think to take pressure off myself, I probably won't record myself doing them, but if I find anything that might be helpful or useful, then maybe I'll talk about it for a video. Otherwise, I'm gonna probably do my studies just for myself so that I can keep them at a pace that it's like doable for me. Whenever I work on video stuff, it does feel like I'm put on a timeline, which might be good like to a certain extent, but I want to take time with my studies. I don't know if I'm drawing him correctly. Because I already find Nuvalet very handsome, and he already has like a very classy air about him. So having him have a more formal outfit, which I find cute because it's stated that it's like made by the Melusines, which I think is so cute. Because I can imagine that this man is like, oh, I don't need to change like my appearance or anything. But if it's a gift from his beloved Melusines, then he would definitely do it. Don't let their kindness go to waste, you know? I think it's cute how his hair is. So, I don't know if this is a good angle. Where's the other photo that I have of him? I have like so many photos that I just downloaded from any social media that was posting his outfit because it's so cute too because of his like I guess like he has like a higher ponytail from the backside, and then he has like the little horn thingies. But now we have it like it's tied higher on his head, so it's kind of cute. I would have loved that they gave him like a high pony. I feel like the people who I find like attractive, especially, it's hard for me to draw and like still like the drawing because I feel like I don't do them justice. Oops, I keep selecting the wrong brush. I'm so used to clicking so much higher on my toolbar right here. I usually don't care for long-haired men. Like, not extremely long hair, I guess. But then there's Nuvalet, there's Danheng. Who else is there that kind of has this kind of look? Because typically my favorite would be characters like the normal Danheng, kind of like hairless. So like still a little bit more fluffier. It's not entirely round. It's kind of slightly textured, I guess. I think this might be one of the last videos that's going to be the extremely long length that I've been doing because I wanted to be more towards that for most of the holidays. But I'm gonna do a mixture again where it's gonna be some shorter videos and longer videos. And I mean short, I mean like 20 plus, because my short videos are still long by some people's standard. Okay, I need a good look of his outfit so that we can kind of block it in. I was seeing people say that his outfit kind of matches Risley, which I think is cute. I know a lot of people like ship them. This probably adds more fuel. Trying to think, do I want these to kind of swing outwards a little bit? Because the fun thing about his design right now is that, I don't know if this is fun or if it's going to be more hard for me to interpret and draw. But similar to Risley, he does have the coat kind of resting. Put a little bit more, kind of like similar to Calyx. I'm not gonna draw it as well as them, but we'll try. I really like people in suits, regardless of gender or how you present. Suits look good on anybody, as long as it's like correctly tailored and like towards more of your aesthetic. I guess you can find a way that works for it. At least that's what I believe. But then again, I wouldn't think I would look good in a suit, so I don't know. Maybe not everybody. So if I do end up inking this, I know I'm giving myself a headache because none of this really makes sense. Kids have actually made his head too small. I can't tell. Love a classy little guy. Something like this, and just copy and paste because I can't be bothered. I don't really remember if I've asked you guys for your brush recommendations for Clip Studio Paint. I think someone sent one to me recently, and I still haven't checked it out. I should really backtrack on my DMs. See if I can find that again. Kind of like this. Which means have our sleeve go like this somehow. Is this head too small? Is that my issue right now? I can't tell. Maybe I did draw him a little bit too wide. Let's just do this. Shrink it a tad bit. I can't even tell how I drew the lapel like this. Let's make sure to get this side, and then maybe we'll see. I might do like a cleaner sketch on top and then maybe try out the watercolor tools that I've downloaded, or I'll leave those ones for like more smaller doodles. And maybe we'll do line art for this. I'll try my best. I'll try my best not to complain about how much I might hate this. Because I don't think I hate the sketch right now at this point. Because I know one of my issues, which I've definitely talked about a lot every time I've complained about not liking my inking or my line work, it's the fact that I don't sketch things clear enough for myself. And it's almost like begging and asking future me to deal with the problem and to have a terrible time. So I should try harder to make sure my sketch is more legible to myself. But I think part of it is from bad habits before. I used to do so many chibis and I churned them out super quickly. But I think there was like a way where I was able to shorthand how I drew certain things in my sketch. And then I was able to interpret it later for my line work. But for my chibis, I've been also getting more frustrated with how they look. So no, I don't think I passed down great habits to myself. Yeah, maybe we'll do a little bit of line work, see how this goes, and then that will kind of lead us into the directions for the next few drawings or doodles afterwards. But let's see, what do we have for... It's like a blending marker. Clear. XPPen. I kind of like the XPPen. It's like soft. It kind of reminds me of one of the brushes I used to use in... what is it called? Paint Tool Sai. So stabilization, you can kind of see it. We're gonna try, we'll just go to 100 to see how it feels. And we'll see how the inking goes. If not, maybe I'll just ink with the classic G pen. Or the Mameo is a bit harder for me to control. It's a little bit more blotchy, I guess. Hemog. I might like this, and then we can test different coloring methods if I use this one. Or do I want to go clean? Like, am I tricking myself? I don't know. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm having a realization. We're not gonna do line art. Well, kind of. I'm just gonna not clean up this. Should I clean up the sketch? No, we'll just do a clean sketch on top. We're not gonna treat it as line art. So, my stabilization, whoops, where'd my OBS go? There we go. My stabilization's back at 0. So, I might raise it up a slight amount, even like 10. Because I think I do have to learn that maybe I'll just have to do line art with the same sketching brush. Because my problem is always my mindset that I become much almost lazier whenever I do line work with my sketch. Because when I work in Procreate, or if I know I'm going to be painting and doing rough colors with my sketch, I do draw more clean and neat. So it's clearly a me problem. Even though I knew that from the beginning. I think when I did the one of Clara and then I did the other one of Albin, I did end up using the same brush that I did my sketch with for the line work. But I still kept it like very much with the idea that I was gonna do line work. So I think I still used like a very high stabilization. I try to keep everything very clean and not as like sketchy by any means, but there's nothing wrong with doing it more sketchy and then coloring it later. I just want to know why I always opt for a textured brush. That might also be my problem. Also need a new view. Just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. As part of it also, it's going to be the fact that the way I color is different when I work with line work. So there's oftentimes like gaps where pixels aren't like fully filled in. And when they're not filled in, it makes things look a little bit more incomplete, or like, I don't know how to explain it. Which is why I like painting kind of like over top. I don't really get those missing gaps. Or if I can, I'll make sure to do one larger fill at first so that you don't have like those random missing areas. Because as much as I like looking at clean line art, I always love looking at people's sketches the most. So maybe for this one, we'll treat it more like the watercolor drawing. I just have to find a way to how to work with the brush because these are all like new brushes, I haven't tested them out quite yet. Because who knows, maybe there's some new favorites in there. I'm just envious of the people who can do really clean line art and have like a very clean style. Because some of them have like the really nice line width variation, and then the other ones have like the very one width throughout their entire piece. And I feel like those people are so powerful. They always do clothing folds so well. So there's a mutual I have. I think it's on Twitter. I don't know if they're as active on Tumblr anymore. But if they are, I think their name is Jorts. They used to do a lot of like 17 fan art. And they were like also Wonu biased. So I was thankfully a mutual with them for quite a while. But now they draw mostly, I think, Todoroki and Bakugo. I think that's their favorite ship. I'm still in awe with their art. Always such pretty clothing folds. I think it's always a little because like they always have a very good sense of how form works. Because I talked about this before, that part of the reason why I also struggle with line work is the fact that sometimes when I color, I can kind of make up the forms a little bit easier. But when it comes to just trying to show what I'm trying to depict with just lines, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. And I think that's also another reason why I add shading sometimes to my sketches immediately. I feel like I'm making his hair too wispy. I just like wispy hair. I think it's cute. Minimize it a smidge here and there. Don't go too overboard. I feel like this still doesn't look like him. Line art is when I become the most silent. Usually when I am kind of going a little bit more mindless, so going towards like sketching or even like the rendering process is kind of when I zone out the most. Or not zone out. Like my brain mentally checks out, but I'm able to like speak and chat a little bit more. Be able to see if I can capture. I think it doesn't help that oftentimes in Genshin models, especially the older ones, I feel like it's less so with the newer ones. If I'm drawing them for the first time and I'm following kind of like the in-game model rather than the, I guess, the official art, I might be making their hair more flat, so I feel like I'm trying to compensate for it. Or the fact that maybe it's supposed to look slightly more flat, but mine looks a little bit too floofy, so it doesn't really look like the character. Also, I can't tell if he has like a little like diamond piece or something on his face, so for now I think I'm not gonna draw it. Get the little hairpin ornament thing on his head. See here. Because I can't tell if that thing is connecting to like this little metal piece that kind of comes behind his ear. So to kind of like quickly toggle back and forth for like line art, for coloring, sketching especially, I like the toggle transparency to kind of use that as the eraser part for kind of just like quick, smaller areas. So if I do this and I want to toggle transparency, I can kind of like erase with the same kind of brush texture, which I find very helpful. So we can get this little... Oh, maybe I shouldn't have put that in for his neck. But for larger areas that I want them to be very clean, I'll just use the normal eraser because typically you can get it to be bigger. And I don't want any like stray lines here and there, so I'll just use the eraser tool rather than just toggling the transparency. Is it bad that I like pretty men? More or less for like drawing. Not in like a romantic sense, I guess. His tie is really pretty though. The Melusines did a really good job of designing his outfit. Not only this, I find it so cute. There's like little, kind of like a bow or like a ribbon kind of tie here. I find it so cute. I don't know. I don't know exactly why, because my guy has a full-on basically a tie, but then right here he has like little ribbon bits, which I think makes it like a touch of cuteness. Maybe it's because of the Melusines made it like that. I find it very adorable. Now I feel like I made his lapel too wide. I like this maybe. I know this part of the body is gonna be slightly more like pushed back, so it won't be full front facing, I guess, but I feel so tempted. The thing about doing these more, what is it called? Real-time type of videos is that I can't really listen to anything that has talking. I was gonna say talking. That has any talking. So I usually only listen to music. Sometimes there's a live stream that I want to catch and I want to listen to it. But if you guys are still playing Genshin, are you gonna be getting Nuvolet's skin? Or playing so you can get the free skin for like the Travelers alongside with the one for Yao Yao? I feel so bad. So for when I kind of stopped playing Genshin earlier in 2025, I've been kind of like on and off the entire year. I missed Xiangling's skin, which I feel bad. Because now that I feel like I'm gonna go back in just so I can catch up, I most likely will get Yao Yao's skin. Typically, if I've done my sketch with like enough information, I definitely think I'm able to churn out line art quite quickly. Also, I just love, like, Nuvolet's demeanor in general. He's, like, stern but sweet. But it's not even stern in, like a cold, mean way. Bro is just professional, I guess. So I feel like I should give more volume here now. Maybe since the majority of this, like, looking the way that I want, maybe I will up the stabilization. Kind of speed things along, because like now that I'm kind of like past his face area, I don't think I hate it, so maybe we're safe to quickly do the line work like this. I guess 50 is okay. In Paint Tool Sai, I used S6 for the The stabilization. So it's like fairly high, but I don't think I was slow at doing line art by any means because like I said, I just have to just go. go, basically. Because stabilization does, like, in a way, slow down your lines quite a bit. But if you're aware of how it lags behind, you can actually make it go, I feel like, quite fast. But coloring my own line art, that's like another battle I'm gonna have to figure out in a bit. Okay, let me figure out his little... What do I call these? It's like the blue... Are these horns? What do I call it? It's like the blue little hair strand-esque parts to his design. So you'll technically have it on both sides. I don't know. Is it weird that I find him very endearing? I already talked about the fact that serious characters that have like a silly side to them, I do like a lot. So I do find Nuvalet like cute in his own way. He's just a silly little guy. Also, I'm listening to Animal Crossing music. Earlier when I was doing the sketch, I realized I wasn't listening to music. But also, I was talking to... There was like a mutual or two that I've talked about this before with. Is the fact that I was looking into maybe getting an iPod again. I feel so sad. There was one that I was watching like another artist? Streamer? Another creator. I guess might be an easier way of stating it. I think I've talked about them before as well. Because they're like one of my favorites to watch. Which is Onsta. And I watched their VODs a little bit too late, because like they're very diligent with like uploading their VODs from when they streamed it, so it would have been fine. But there was apparently a iPod or like a sound music product, digital product company, but they had like a Miku collab for like the cutest like iPod-esque music MP3 player. What am I saying? Yeah, MP3 MP3 player. But it was all Miku themed, and it was like the cutest color. The interface was like all Miku, and it's so cute. Not gonna lie, it was kind of expensive, but it wasn't like crazy expensive for like a collab, I feel like, product. So if I knew about it, I would have been so tempted to get it. Even though like I mentioned that in December, I was trying to curb a bit of my spending because I spent too much on, one, books, and then gifts and stuff for friends. So this is like cute, kind of like scalloped. I was like really tempted to try to get it, but it was sold out, and I didn't know like the pre-ordering time frame. If I watched the VOD on time, it would have been perfect. But maybe it's a blessing, because like I said, it's not the cheapest thing, but it wasn't like outrageously expensive that I wouldn't be like, yeah, I won't even consider it type of thing. Because is it pricey for an MP3 player? Absolutely. But it wasn't terrible. Once again, he kind of has gloves. So far, so good. In terms of the line work, I'm not hating it, but like I said, it might have been also because like I tried my best to give myself a little bit more context for the sketch. I'm not gonna finish this side, so I might leave this side kind of more blank so that we can kind of let it trail off into like another drawing potentially. Okay, and then I'm just gonna quickly line this. I'm gonna move it so that it actually is aligned with the little pendant thingy, whatever you want to call it. I feel like I've drawn it so misaligned. It's kind of crazy. Thinking I want to add a ruler. As well as I'll make it a little bit easier on myself. Where did I see the design of this? Okay. Does this look correct? Some of the details for Genshin drives me nuts. Okay. Go like this. Okay, we can get rid of our ruler. And then do like, is this like a feather? This could be considered a feather. If I'm drawing this correctly, it's okay. No one's gonna be able to tell. Also, I think I saw the Genshin Hoyo Fest? Maybe it's the Hoyo Fest ones. The concept art for Flynn's was out, and I'm like, wow. Make that a skin, please. Not because I'm gonna get it, but so that I can continue to see it all over my timeline. Then we use our eraser. Gonna get rid of all these stray lines. Did I accidentally just erase this part for no reason, or I don't know. Some of this would probably be easier to be done like via color rather than. So what is? Does he have two little thingies here? A smaller one and a larger one. Unless I'm seeing it incorrectly, but I'm nervous to color. Because, like I mentioned, one problem I have is line art. The other one's coloring my line art. Make it like this. How many? What the heck? How many lapels does this man have? Okay. So clothing is just hard. Understanding how to draw it. This is correct. I'm just gonna be asking myself that the entire time. Okay, so we have some semblance of Nouvellette right now. So I am going to try. My brain's like processing what I want to do. We're gonna try coloring it. So I'm gonna set this to our reference layer. I am going to fill Nouvellette with a base color. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna fill this in. Do something like this. Okay, we have an okay base for our colors as well. I do apologize, every time I look down like a fair amount, my model tracking is probably just not gonna register very well because I probably can't see where my mouth is. Color without making everything look a little funky. Also, I forgot this this part of his cuff just looks funny because there's nothing here. It just looks very flat. So I might color this a little bit more muscly. I also might change the line work. So I have it as like a purpley bluish color. I also might do this. Because I like doing this for my sketches, so why the heck not? Because I also noticed that someone mentioned that Nouvelette's model, his hair got some transparency, which is kind of nice. My brain's like, how do I want to color this? I guess we're gonna play around with some of these watercolor brushes. I just hope they work in the way that I think they will. Oh, so far that's great. Okay, I already like it. Big plus. It's a new layer, we're just gonna clip it. And you can see if you press hard, you get a nice actual like watercolor edge. And if I go back on top, it actually lifts a bit, that's great. And if I go soft, like hard and then soft, you can feather out the edges. So this is exactly what I want for a watercolor brush. So we're gonna see if we can do a majority of the coloring with this and see if we can kind of keep it light and airy. So I'm gonna treat it kind of like how I paint with watercolors. So there might be some areas that have bleeding, but wait a second. Clear, clear, clear. Do I want to leave it like that? Does white work? Okay, white does work, so maybe we'll leave it like this. I was gonna say I should start with a white base because on like using watercolors, you're kind of relying on the white of the paper and having those areas to remain light. But I don't want it to be too messy because I don't want to do a lot of erasing to cover up stuff, so we're just gonna feather out our edges. I'll just adjust our brushes to size. What was I saying? I want it to be the correct size because I want to be careful where I'm letting the colors bleed and where we can have like our watercolor edge to kind of be nice and apparent. It's looking pretty. Do I want to make the lines even lighter? We can do that thing where I mean, this already looks pretty. So we'll definitely like airbrush our colors afterwards for the line work so that we can darken them because Nouvelette has like a lot of like navy bluish kind of colors. I'm already liking this. I'm so happy. Maybe I'll draw Yao Yao and Flynn's and maybe the Travelers. That or we'll just do a full spread of just Mr. Monsieur Nouvelette. I just have to learn how to control this brush with a little bit more control because the layering, I do have to be careful because I can lift this. It does make me feel a little wary about not having such a harsh edge. But just a reminder, I will link the brushes that I'll end up using. So, is there a way I can do this? Subtool settings? Yes, okay. This kind of green color. Okay, and then it was drawing number 9. Which I will do the same thing. So do kind of like a minty green color. So hopefully I can find them afterwards. Is it because I just like my drawing? I do think, well, Nouvelette's pretty pale though. I need to draw like maybe Shinyan or Kaya, Dea to see how well this brush will work. Then again, like once I start actually using the brush for some of the areas for his, what is it called? Why am I blanking? Like his clothing, we get to add some darker colors and so then I'll be able to figure out whether or not like this brush is something I want to use. Okay, I need to look up Nouvelette's eye color. His eye color often confuses me because they are like fairly light. It's gonna be such a long drawing session, but I'm already having fun with just this one. If I end up cropping it, will you guys hate me? So every time I press down hard, we get kind of like that nice hard edge. And then once I lift up our pen for the pressure. Oops, I want to leave a band at the very top for extra color. But if I lift up, that's when I can get like that softer edge that kind of blends in a little bit more. I know it's like, does he have eyeliner or is it like on his lashes? Because some of the artwork of New Valette has the little blue part of where his lashes are, or like his eyeline. It looks like normal, kind of like eyeliner, but the one that I'm seeing right here, I think it's like a birthday art. I don't know if it was from this year, but he's like, has his back turned, he's like reading a newspaper, and like a little Melusine's like putting a little gift on his desk, and he's like pretending not to notice. The free quarter view of his face has like the lashes with the blue sticking out. I'm confused. I'm gonna move my camera back. He's looking quite nice, right? I think it looks pretty like this with the multiply. I'm gonna leave it. Can you tell I'm just having fun, like playing around with the different settings and tools right now? I'm just happy to have a brush that seemingly is something that I really like. So I'm gonna add in some white as if it was already white to begin with. Because then the other areas that have more of like his skin tone, I do end up doing that anyways with watercolors at times, where I would lay down a orange or a yellow or like some sort of goldenish color, or even like sometimes a gradation. And then that is able to kind of like help me establish where I want my lighting to be. Because I didn't start off with a white base here, I'm just gonna plop in white in some areas, and then we can add in our shadows or like cooler washes. So you can get more cleaner looking washes in color if I make a new layer. So I kind of like that, but we can also darken up as always. Because like this stuff does kind of like mix with one another, so if you can, make a separate layer for some of the areas, because I can't work entirely like how I work with watercolors, where I can work basically all on the same layer-ish. So if you want to place clean color on top of already laid down washes, then it'd be good to make a new layer to do that instead. It's just easier to get the color payoff, I think, that if that's what you're looking for. Try to do some larger washes and kind of knock back at least this portion of the hair. I think, how do I want to approach this? I was gonna say maybe I should just do some larger washes to knock out the general, what is it called? Just like color blocking a little bit more. And then afterwards, I will do the shadows on top, so I can do that on a separate layer. It might be the easiest way to do this instead. So we'll do a light bluish purple over everything. Oh, big brushes. Okay, this is manageable. The big brushes makes my thing lag so badly. More of like a watercolor effect, I feel like, whenever you leave some areas of like the page still intact. So I'm gonna do that. Add a little bit of yellow. So color picking does become a little bit more difficult though when using these brushes. So it's good to have, if you want to have access to all the colors that you've been using, you can open up like color history. But I'm just gonna eyeball everything here. He looks pretty though. I might also change this to be blue. So he still has like his hair partially slick backed, which I like. gonna do the same thing here. So we're gonna add a nice darkish wash. I should have used a smaller brush. Wait a second. Because not only that, we can always go back in and add more shadows. Because like the method that I'm doing now is definitely more flat compared to how I did Nouvelit's hair and face, which I think looks really pretty. I don't know. Do I have the energy to continue? Or do I just want to end up doing sketching and drawing of something else afterwards? I don't know. I don't know if it's because of the line art having a little bit of texture. When I've done the selection so far, I'm not too bothered by it. Or is it because I'm using like a watercolor brush that it's not making me annoyed the fact that I'm not able to get it to be more clean with the textured-ish line art? I don't know. I didn't add the little cuff to it. Which reference was I looking at? Oh my... No! Wait a second. I realized the pattern or like the design that I ended up drawing for here is of his sleeve that he has here. Like his inside suit sleeve. Not this coat thing. So this should be more of... Use drawing 9. Now we can go back. Like I said, I'm gonna try color matching to the best of my abilities. I forgot to talk about this too, so this is gonna be like far into the today's session. I want to see if I'm able to like do a magma drawing session with a few friends. That's like something I want to do. Not exactly for like streams or anything, just in general. Just chat and draw. My friends that I do like chat, how do I explain this? IRL? Or like on call, like actually on call. They're not like artsy friends per se. They're like my childhood friends. And like my closest friends. But my art friends, I don't think I've ever done like a magma drawing stream, or not stream, I keep saying stream, but just a magma drawing session, just chatting and drawing silly things. I want to do that. Unless there's any art mutuals or moots that wanna do that. Hit me up, please. I'm such a nervous person when it comes to what is it called? Reaching out to people. I always feel like I'm bothering people, so I don't want to say anything. We have more. Is this enough? Is this enough? This helps add a little bit more depth. And then I don't have to go through all the shapes separately for the shadows. Okay, I think this is all we're gonna do. It's like enough at this point. Yellowy. Maybe yellow works. I think it looks kind of cute. Okay, let's just do a bunch of sketching. I don't know if I'm gonna continue using new brushes. Maybe I will. Because I do like the sketching or like the drawing. This drawing one. Number 9. I do like. So maybe I'll try drawing one more Novelette. Maybe I'll draw Luga and Flint. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think, how do I want to draw? How do I want to sketch? Okay, my head's a little empty right now. Why can't I think of how I want to? How do I want to pose them? Do I want to do something very simple? The session's gonna be already way too long. I think I spent, it's like an hour and a half on this man. Granted, line art also just took a long time. Because long drawing session, yes. But unedited, no. The amount of silence or like me not doing anything because I'm like debating or thinking would be a little bit too crazy. So I'm gonna draw this eye much larger. What is it with these long-haired men? I guess they're dragons. Is that why? Dragons get pointy ears? Is that the rule? I feel like there's always so many pretty outfits out there for like Genshin characters, even like just gacha characters in general who get like new outfits and stuff. But I'm always biased if they get like a formal outfit. But I'm generally curious, is there someone out there, let me know if this is you, that either don't care for a formal outfit or like actually dislike? And if you do, let me know why. I'm kind of curious because I like Dark Academia, and it's more like towards almost like preppy, right? It's not really like a style I would wear technically, other than like cardigans and blazers maybe, because I think they're cute. And I like anything that's more towards like a fall aesthetic, and I feel like a lot of Dark Academia you could definitely wear during the fall. But let me know, do you like something that's more like alternative? Do you like something that's more cutesy? Maybe more like skater boy, skater girl-esque, street fashion, that kind of stuff, more so than like maybe don't vibe as much with formal outfit. Early days of like K-pop and stuff, they always have like the funky outfits, right? For like stage concepts, album concepts, music concepts, whatever. But then you see like award shows and like you see your favorites in like formal attire. And I'm like, wow. Nothing beats this for me. I forget the person's name. I don't really follow, is it called Eunice? I don't really follow many like new groups. And I'm sure they're not like super new because I've definitely seen them before because of that one, I think it's a Filipino member. There's another member that I happened to stumble upon. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's like the cutest person ever. Visually, like she just looks so adorable. Also, I think like out of girls for K-pop groups, I've always thought like Jisoo from, not Blackpink, but Jisoo from Lovelyz. So pretty. But I loved like Gen 2, Gen 3 girl groups a lot. Like Sistar, A-Pink, who just recently had a comeback, and bless them. Because it kind of has like their old sound almost, which I miss a lot. What else is there? After School. Did I say Sistar? Sistar, Secret. 4 Minute, FX. I like this one more than how I initially sketched him. I kind of want to do something that shows more of his hair being tied, because I think that's a cute touch. Also, formal with like a cute touch is everything to me. Because as much as I like just a normal like black and white suit or a very pretty like white dress, black dress, whatever for like a black tie event, if it has like a cutesy undertone to it, bless. Cute. I already like what he looks like. I'm gonna spruce it up so that he doesn't look too unfinished. Because I don't think I'm gonna color this one unless I just add very basic shadows and shading somehow. But can you tell the difference when I have intentions of like wanting to do line art versus when I'm just sketching freely? Because I think this is already cleaner than how I initially sketched this one. So if like I know I'm doing some sort of line art, it puts me in a weird mindset, which is strange because if I try to trick myself, I think it never works. But I think it's also because if I for surely know I don't want to do line art, I truly do clean up as I go for sketches. Sometimes I leave like some of my lines visible because that's just how I like to work. But I think it also is just the fact that whenever I work with any brush that I'm using for sketching, I mentioned this earlier, but I like already adding like shading and shadows as we go along, because like you saw that I did the neck like immediately after I drew it in. Maybe I'll add like a... Do I want to add a wash? Maybe just a block in these areas. Just don't go too overboard because sometimes I don't like my sketches as much if I overwork them. How does this look? Does this look okay? Simple shading here. I feel like this looks more like his normal self. I didn't really draw it as much as like the formal attire one, but I do like how it looks, so let's continue sketching. Where do I want to do this? Can I fit Flynn's and Aluga somewhere here? Since we're doing headshots only, it shouldn't be too bad. Oh, I wanted to draw Yao Yao too. Took a bit of a break. I think we left off wanting to draw Iluka. I'm curious on what kind of character he is. Like I said, I'm not like super caught up on the main story, so I didn't really read if anyone has any voice lines. I'm assuming Flynn's has voice lines about Aluga. But I did hear his voice like very briefly. He's quite a like a very easy to listen voice, very smooth, I guess. I don't know how to describe it. Should have sketched both eyes at the same time. One of his eyes are like covered by his hair, which I think this is the reason why I ended up drawing the second eye, kind of like after the fact. But I kind of need it because part of his eye still shows, so I can't get rid of it like completely. Actually, this might be a stupid question. If you guys were to draw a character that has only one visible eye, do you place both eyes and then erase it? Or do you actually draw them like with just the one eye? So let's say you have like Kaya, who has like an eye patch. Do you draw the eye and then draw the eye patch and then erase the eye that you had? Or do you immediately draw the eye patch? Because I can imagine at times where I might not draw both eyes, or at least like have some semblance on where it is, and then maybe his eye patch makes it that his like face and chin area looks more wait, has this Nouvellette always been out? Like, does it warp your perception of the face if it's not being placed there? See what his little lantern looks. I like how his is kind of like circular and round. versus Flynn's, who has much more of like a elongated one. Once I have time, I would love to catch up on Genshin though, because I really want to play more into like Nod Cry, kind of like the story of it. Bangs are in the way of my face. He seems very serious. If you guys know more about Luga, do let me know. Or if like, is this a character you're planning on summoning for? Because I think he's a 4-star, right? Because we also have, is it Byebye? I'm kind of sad because I would love to get, is it Byebye? Wait, I need to look her up. It is indeed Byebye, or I don't know how, Byebye? Byebye. That's how you like spell her name, but I don't know how to say her name because I don't really know Mandarin. But I love the Geo characters, so I kind of want her, but I want Columbina first, and I think Columbina is before that banner, but I haven't played since getting Flynn's. Oh, thank goodness. I'm glad I put this on a separate layer so I can kind of sketch him more freely without worrying. His hair though, because like I mentioned, I kind of like the shorter cut because I find it a little bit easier to draw. Oh, he has a scar as well on his neck, so boy's been through it. Oh, interesting. This is kind of how like I treat Sato's hair. Like I have like a random patch of hair where it's more like a blunt cut. Everywhere else has like the normal kind of tapered ends, not just like this blunt little cut of hair right here. When I mean normal, I mean with the rest of his head. I'm drawing even more half-lidded. He looks like so displeased. Might raise this one a little bit more. Every time like characters have turtlenecks, mine included, and I'm kind of like I'm guilty of this. Because the length of the turtleneck, I sometimes make their neck much longer than it actually is. I feel like Aluga's neck is quite long looking. If this is like where the base is, then his neck, it seems like it's like this. Have like a really high kind of collar and then fluffy coat. I am hoping for more characters that share the same model type as Varka, or like just more diversity in their models in general, other than being like, oh, maybe someone's like a bit taller than the rest or a bit shorter than the rest. This pencil is quite nice because if I draw like fairly light, I get like mostly consistent lines, but then if you press really hard, you can actually get quite a bit of line width variation, which is nice. Try moving Monster Nouvellette. So I can kind of move Luga like this. I'll just place like a color underneath to use it as an eraser so that if I do end up moving a Luga, I won't accidentally be having random chunks of Nouvellette just like floating about. Kind of do the same thing. We'll add a watercolor layer. I'm just gonna color in the majority of him. We're gonna lighten it, similar to Nouvellette. Like this, and then I'm just gonna take the eraser. Kind of carve out where I think the highlights would be. That kind kind of want to shade this in a bit. So I might duplicate tool number, or drawing tool number 9, and then the watercolor one, and pop them into like my more frequently used ones, just because I will have easier access to them and hopefully remember. I definitely made it a lot thicker. I don't know if it's because I drew in a larger size. Probably. Now that I'm looking at the difference between Nouvellette and Beluga. So Nouvellette, and we have Beluga. One more. Let's do Flynn's. He feels so out of place. Kind of wish he was like a bit larger now, rather than the small little doodles. But I don't really want to cut off where his hand is. Oh well. Okay, let's draw Flynn. Just how do I want to draw him? He looks so small compared to when he has like the giant collar. So I mentioned this before. I do find Flynn's hard for me to draw. Part of it is because his eyes are light and very blank. But I do like Flynn's a lot. Like I said, I kind of like these characters where you expect them to be more like serious or cold, but like they're not. They're either like silly, or they're actually much more warmer than you think, or they're very kind. For some reason, I also wanted to give him like pointy ears. I've seen people do like fan edits or like reasons why they would give him the pointier ears, just because like he's a fae, I guess, right? How do I draw the masquerade mask? I don't know if this is the right angle. It's okay. Trying to see if I can see the actual shape of it. That's like a cute flame design. Where do I want to put this? Maybe just here. Let's make sure that this isn't fully crooked. It doesn't look too bad. I love his outfit so much. It doesn't help that he also kind of has like, you know, turtleneck. How do I draw you? It's like a nice chunkier-ish turtleneck kind of collar that he has. Kind of similar to a Luga in a way. Not entirely, but kind of like this. And then he has like a design. And then kind of a larger overcoat kind of collar here. Wow. I like fashion like this too. Not for me, but like visually, I like seeing it. Every time I see it on Flynn's, I'm like, your collar is like huge. It's like wide. But also your hair has to be like behind you, but also like not within your coat collar. He looks so sweet in the concept photo. Also, I love his like stupid aho gaze. They always get like fairly wild, I feel like, for the aho gaze that they have. Some of them like twist and turn, some bend, some are like... I mean, granted, I do that with my OCs too, but I think it stems from character designs from the, like similar to these that I like, so I can't really blame them per se. I'm assuming his hair is the same on each side. I don't really want to pull up another reference of him. Wow, it doesn't look like him at all. What to do? It's okay. We will manage. Like I said, like a while back, sometimes I don't mind if characters don't look like themselves. Because like, the main purpose I'm drawing them is because, like, one, I like their character designs, and then two, I just wanna sketch. I wanna sketch and I wanna draw. And as long as, like, their character design, or whatever you want to call it, compels me enough to draw them, I think that's already a plus. Because I could easily scrap this right now. I just never know how to draw his hair. I know that's one big factor why it doesn't really look like him. His hair is like a little confusing on where it low-key overlaps. I forget what other character it was. Well, I feel like Neuvillette still falls kind of into that category. I think Zhongli also does too. I keep drawing the character over and over again. Part of it is because I do like their design. Another part is because I don't think I do them justice, so I'll continue drawing and trying to convince myself that every subsequent try should be better. I really want to thicken up his neck. It's also because I can't tell that this is the inside of his coat area. Oh, his mask seems so tiny. Also, I was thinking of, like, painting my nails the other day. I kind of don't want to do the upkeep. I always do, like, more of the peel-on base coat because I don't feel like I want to commit to a certain color right away, or like have it for so long. I think it's because I'm not used to having nails, like painted nails. Maybe I'll do it this weekend. Let's add some color. But I don't know what color I want to do for nails. Maybe I'll go more natural and leave it more like warm. Thought I'll go back to like the cool colors because that's what I just prefer. And I like the gradations. Do the same thing. So we're gonna use the watercolor. I feel like I mostly want to do his hair. I'm gonna fade it up here so I can come back and fill that in. I'm gonna erase all the little stray areas that we don't need to keep kind of like intact. And then with a smaller brush, let's go in, do some of the smaller areas. The shadow on his neck doesn't really make sense. Should be going the other way, but that's okay. I like instinctively put the shadow for the neck when I draw, but I often put it on the wrong side. At least for our lighting scheme here, which not really is present, so it's okay. But I think that's it for the little sketches. I do apologize that this sketching session is gonna be kind of like all over the place for the most part, other than these sketches right here. But the main one that I did of Neuvillette, I don't even really like it that much. And I also feel like I need to put something in the background. Do something like this. Then we can just use an eraser. It's gonna basically cut through all of these. I might leave it this like lighter color, so like leaving the opacity a little bit more faint. I didn't really talk about the new year too much. I don't think that was the purpose of today's video. Maybe if I do a stream, I'll talk a bit more about like things I want to do this year. Other than like, I mentioned like OC personal projects, but other things there's, I don't know. There's a few things I want to do this year, but we'll see. I don't know if I should say it so that, you know, say into the world so you can manifest it, or if I should just leave it as is. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me kind of fuss my way using some new brushes and just trying my best to not give up on the drawings that I was working on today. Had a lot of fun. I think I do like the watercolor brush quite a bit. The texture is wonderful on this brush. So I might use it more in the future, especially for doodles like this. It's kind of fun. So we have Nuvolette, we have Beluga, we also have Flynn's, which I didn't write his name. I'll put Nuvolette over here too. I do write doodles. I'm doing these fairly late. But I think that's it. Yeah, I think this is it for today. I'll leave a little time lapse at the very end because I think we're gonna double check. I think I have time lapse on. Export. Yes. Okay, we'll export it. But I think that's it for today's drawing session. Hopefully you guys enjoyed hanging out and just chit-chatting. Just kind of a more rambly start of the year. But I will see you guys next time in the next video. And hopefully 2026 will treat you guys well. So yeah, bye-bye!